Hey everybody, welcome back to Someone's PC. We took a break for World, but now we're back with myself, Russell, Ryan, and Kyle. And we're here to
Oh,
recap
they're
Worlds and
Ryan and
then
Kyle Sabelhaus. Just,
Yeah.
just in
they
case,
don't
just in
need
case
an
you guys didn't know.
introduction.
You
They
never
don't
know.
need an
Some people did they request that we start doing introductions for our people? Maybe a background, like a trophy list.
Go ahead, man. Try to flatter us.
I know Ryan's won a ton of regionals, and I feel like Kyle's done well at a bunch of regionals, but slightly less good than Ryan. And they both do the Sable stream.
Jesus,
I
shots.
don't really know.
I don't know. In the past 2 years, I've heard good things from both of them. I see people
Yeah, both of them.
I see people ride the living mess out of Ryan. Like they're just like, he's so good, man. This is why he's #1. And I saw Brit's list, and Ryan was like in the middle, and then he won Philly regionals, and he hopped all the way to first. And I was like, oh well, that's adorable. I was like, I don't know.
I feel like
I don't know who
Ryan
this
wins
guy
like 1 or 2 regionals a year.
Yeah.
It's like always up there.
And then the first time I met Kyle, he goes, "Oh, I'm the other brother, the one that's not as good." I was like, "That makes no sense. They're brothers." So yeah, if you guys need to do an introduction for them, I guess it's kind of weird that you're watching and don't know about them already.
Yeah,
Like, that'd be
but
kinda
we're
weird.
all just gonna like recap Worlds basically, and then try and take a stab at Extended because I feel like Extended's like the next tournament coming up, and that's what everybody wants to hear about. But nobody really talks about Extended besides Shiftery, so
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
Okay.
yeah.
So you guys got there on a Wednesday or a Thursday? I got there Wednesday.
We got in Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I got there Wednesday on no sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like close to the same thing for me. I went in because I had to go in day 1 with Kyle, and I expected Toad, lots of Toad, lots of people with 300 points, and then they didn't really know what to play, so they just play Toad because that's how they got their 300 points.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much what go through a logic. And so my deck had 2 Pokemon Center ladies, a Team Flare Grunt, and a Zerosic in it with 4 VS Seekers, and it was the angriest Manectric Batsless I've ever played in my entire life. And it was full of hate, and yeah, day 1 sucked. Like that was a grind.
It was nerve-wracking. That was
Yeah,
like the big. That was like we legitimately went into that going, "This is the last chance qualifier." Like, this is not Worlds. We're not in Worlds yet.
It was the
Worlds
same
is
thing
day
for
2.
me.
So I was just like, all right, well, I played this whole year to get a ticket to go try to play Worlds, I guess. And then we just jumped right. We were just trying to get into day 2, and going 5-2 seemed easy, and then like in the middle of the tournament, you're like, man, this could
You're
go
like,
bad real
this is
fast.
a couple
Couldn't
rounds I got left.
it? Yeah.
I tied round 2 against Brandon Salazar.
That
Right.
was horrible.
And it got to the point where I was about to scoop to this man. Like, not even as like an agreement to scoop, or like us trying to like change up like how the tournament works or anything. But to me,
Yeah.
a tie in the second round meant nothing.
Yeah.
Like, if I tie and then lose, I'm in the same exact spot. And then if I tie and then I tie again, I'm still in the same exact spot because I can't lose now. Now I have to tie. Yeah. So I feel like I was in a horrible situation. So me and Brandon get into like a very close game 3. When game 1 game 1 I slaughtered, game 2 he bodied, and then game 3 he opened a Hawlucha Silent Lab Strong Energy band to my Manectric and Zubat.
Yeah.
And so he was just like, bam, bodied Manectric, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I had like Ultra Ball for a Toad and pass, and I eventually got an N once he went down to like 2 prizes, and had to like sit there and grind that all out.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there about to lose, and I was like, I'm considering just scooping to like to Brandon right now, just so you can get the win, and then, you know, one of us makes it in, right? And I don't expect him to be that kind of person. I feel like I'm weird when it comes to that. Like, I'll just scoop to somebody just to say good luck to you, and then, you know, take it easy. But Brandon, I don't know, he was so excited for the tie, maybe, because he thought like he should have earned the win. But when I end him to 2, he wasn't about it. So once we get into the final turn, he's like, okay, so tie it is, and like picked up the mat slip, and I was like, oh god, all right, yeah,
You're like, sure.
tie it is, yeah, cool, peace.
If you're with it, I'm with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, day 1 sucked. I hated it. Cause not only did I have any sleep, I was running on 2 hours, and people were walking around. They're like, "You look so tired." I was like, "Nah, really. I had to sit here all night and decide on playing Pokemon Center ladies, which are super clutch." But I had so many opponents misplay against me. It was ridiculous. It wasn't even like one every round kind of thing, but it was like at least like 7 big misplays that I should have lost. I should have lost matches. I should have lost game 2s that turned into game 3s that I won. That shouldn't have ever happened. Like they just sat there and punted the wins back to me.
There were a lot of nerves. You could tell.
Yeah. That was fun.
I was up for like 30 hours straight helping people play test super late, but then I slept in because I just...
Yeah, you and Ryan had nothing to worry about.
That, man. I was sitting there waiting on you. You were like, "Yeah, I'll meet you there," and it's like 3 p.m. and Dylan rolling down like, "Just woke up. What's going on?"
That's basically it.
Like waiting for Dylan.
Yeah. The testing for me the night before did nothing. Like I didn't learn anything. I didn't learn anything about the deck. I felt like this meta, the meta wasn't exactly stale. I just felt like it was super played out.
Yeah, no, there wasn't a lot to learn in the last day. Like if you basically were you try to get your deck list right, and that's about it. You're not gonna change decks. You shouldn't change decks. Just stick with what you know.
Yeah. So.
And I don't know. Going into day 1 for me, the hype for Manetric that happened at Nationals, it basically just kind of rolled into Worlds really quietly, but everyone I saw testing was just Manetric everywhere. If it's in bats or it's by itself with Garbodor or whatever. And of course there was like Brandon Cantu had the Manetric tool drop with Garbodor.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that deck is fantastic. It's got a little bit of flair in it. It's pretty consistent, and you can get surprise knockouts in matchups where you probably shouldn't win the game.
Yeah, and you can Garbodor bad decks. Like as Garbodor, as skillless as Garbodor is, it's like very good against the field. Because like if you run into and people trying to get cute with like these stupid combos or like they're trying to clang, and you're just like, oh, I have a Garbodor.
Exactly.
Draw your answer.
Nice
if you don't have it, I'm
answer.
gonna body you. Like it was.
Yeah, instead of just going, all right, I'll hit you for 110. At least you have something to stop all their cute stuff.
I like that version the best just because it had a fighting chance against Groudon, I think. Like
Yeah,
playing with
yeah,
Tool
I
Drop
same,
and
yeah.
stacks.
In day 2. I was happy about that. I kept telling Ryan when we were testing, I'm like, I'm pretty sure this thing has a decent shot against Groudon. He's like, there's no way. But
Any non-EX that does a ton of
To be
damage
fair,
has the...
Against good Groudon players, it doesn't stand a chance.
not to
But
say
against-
Sebastian was
I
bad,
know,
it was
like, I'm
just got a
saying-
bad roll.
I'm saying against people that like know the match.
Yeah.
You know, like against if I were to pick up Groudon and you were to pick up that deck, I feel like you're not gonna win that matchup.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the weakness is just too much, and tool drops.
Maybe if you had in a flying banana tree.
I'm not ready for flying banana trees.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that at the end. Oh my god. Yeah, like whenever I played that matchup myself, and I was like, all right, I'll overrun and bad damage. If I'm playing against anyone intelligent, they'll just play to like a Pokemon Center lady,
Mm-hmm.
and then try to whip it all, get their sash back online, etc., etc. But yeah, we did a lot of playtesting in what room was it? Floor 29. The
Yeah,
floor
man.
29
So
venue.
clutch.
That was the
429,
best.
too
That
clutch.
was like my highlight of Worlds. I didn't care about anything else. I just love that room.
Free
Yeah.
food, water, drinks.
The view.
Mm.
I was chilling, man.
So
Yeah, the view was gorgeous. Being isolated from a lot of people that
Mhm.
were just basically vendors. I mean,
Yeah.
The open
every
game room
time I
was so
walked by, it
small.
was yeah. Combined together, the open game room would have been amazing.
Yeah, the open game room was
Yeah.
terrible this year.
Yeah, I thought it was
I did
awful.
not like it.
It was
It's
my
too cramped.
it was the worst part about Worlds.
Yeah.
I think because it was 50% vendors and yeah, they were all separated. So
Yeah.
there's like one room that nobody was using because they wanted to be around people.
Vendors were just taking up like a half of every table, so you couldn't sit with like all your friends.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, it's super sucked. All right, so Kyle and I got through day 1. Myself at X11 record, and then you're at X2, right?
I was X1.
You're X1? Oh, beast.
Yeah.
Never mind then. Look at this.
I played.
That's why.
I played the Manetric Tool Drop, and I played against a Manetric Leafeon Garbodor, a Manetric Tool Drop Mirror, another Manetric. So I beat 3 in a row, and I was like, thank God I played, because I played Tool Retriever. So I would Tool Retriever off the Spirit Link and then just dominate the mirror. Like I did it against Azul in the second game.
Yeah.
And he didn't realize that I had done it, and he just came up and assault lasered for 60 in the middle of the game. I'm like, what are you doing? So I heal it, and I eventually, like, he basically did 30 damage and gave me a free Turbo Bolt.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to use your own rough seas that you played down to
Yeah.
minimize this to half of what you just did.
Yeah. I beat a Landy Bats. That was really hard. I lost to like a Manectric Toad Bat.
Did you tool drop him? Did it matter? Did you tool drop the Landy Bat? No.
I drew so bad.
Oh,
I did.
God.
Oh, with the Landy Bat, I just went really aggressive. I did get some tool drops in there, but I just like he had like 4 Halusha, and I just like went to town on those.
Oh, yeah. You shouldn't have benched too many of those.
Yeah.
They should just sit there and beat the mess out of you with Landorus.
Yeah. And the last round I got Alex Hale, and he was playing Gengar Trev.
Yeah.
Which is like auto win. It was just really unfortunate for him, but he ended up making it in.
Yeah, I heard he did pretty well. Did you expect as much Night March as we saw? Because I expected Night March, but I didn't think they were gonna do that well. I thought people were intelligent enough to know how to play around that, or just like if you're playing bats, you play accordingly. But I don't know.
No,
Like,
I felt like if I'm gonna play Manectric, I need to play a Manectric that also has an option against Night March, because you usually just get obliterated by them. But they play Dimension Valley for you, and you just use Tool Drop for 1 and get like respectable trades.
Yeah.
So that was one thing I liked about it. I didn't play against any of them, thank God, because that would have been scary. I know the matchup's probably not in my favor, but you know, I'd rather play against a lot of other things than that.
Same. I know most of them just slaughtered. Like they started out 4-0 or like the 3-1, and then just needed to win 2 more to get in. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to Wembald about that, and he's like, "Oh, I play a hot tech AZ." I was like, "Really? Is that hot tech?" And I never played Night March before, and he goes, "Yeah, he's like, you'll be surprised how much that helps." And I was like, "All right, this is crazy." So I don't know. I thought it was all right. I think I don't know. I really want them to up the CP count next year. Not to sound elitist or anything, but I don't know. I felt like it was too many people.
Not up to par.
Yeah, it's not the par.
They just have
like,
to lower the CP count from some of the other tournaments. Like I feel like Nationals is a little bit too top heavy. At least Europe really has that problem, and we have it like kind of sorta. And I also think that League Challenges give too many points because it just becomes a scoop fest to hit the 300. So I think keeping it the same and just taking away some of those points would actually make it really fine.
No one would ever turn into a scoop fest. Johnny Ravis. No.
What'd you think?
I literally didn't play a League Challenge this year.
You got up to 450.
I got to like 450 something, so that you don't need them. Like they really are just everybody trying to get points on the weekend when they don't have a job or whatever.
Yeah, I played League Challenges just so I could like just keep going up and keep competing with everyone in the top 16. That's the only reason I even played them.
But didn't it get to the point where it was annoying because it was like these are points that anybody could get, but I just have to devote X number of weekends to League Challenges to keep up with everybody.
No, I want the Mega Gardevoir. I'm not saying they're very easy.
Yeah, but it was annoying that I had to like skip out on like real life to like League Challenge. Like Kyle said, like, oh, you don't have a job, you don't have school, so I'll just go to. It's like anybody could get those points, and anybody below 300 can get somebody to scoop to them to get to 300. So I don't see why they exist.
Yeah.
That and then like if you're shooting for top 16, if you want to compete in that at all, you have to hit the League Challenges.
Yeah, that's what
I mean. Not necessarily, but you're missing out on a free 60 something points.
90.
Yeah, free 90. Oh God.
90.
Yeah, 90.
All right, you're missing out on free 90 points by not showing up.
Like either they take them away or they make them worth less, or they make like the cap lower so it becomes less ridiculous. Like the best finish limit lower. So I feel like just fixing some of those points that are kind of like too free, instead of necessarily raising the cap, because then it would kind of give the illusion that like, oh, we kept it the same, but we acknowledge that some people are getting a third of their points from like scoops, so we're trying to fix that problem. But for all the people that weren't doing that, we're still making it as easily achievable.
Yeah,
something like that. I don't know, trying to find a middle ground. But whatever, they're gonna do whatever. What we say probably isn't gonna change. Yeah. They probably already have their mind made up. We're just giving our opinion.
I didn't have a single round day 1 where I played against the same deck. Like I knew going into the tournament, the format's way too diverse, and it turns into like a crapshoot of matchups you're gonna hit. And like someone could be playing Hippowdon, and if your deck didn't account for it, you lost. If your deck accounted for it, and you prized what you accounted for, you lost. And it was a little stupid.
Day 2, I was most upset about top 8. That's ridiculous. Like it's not even up to you at that point to get top 8. It's up to your matchups, because you can't play out of like 3 bad matchups. You know.
Day 2?
For day 2, yeah.
For day 2, like when you try to make top 8.
My day, we'll see exactly what that is.
I think we're getting to there though. It's like
Format though, like this format was so matchup based. Like no matter what you did, like you were gonna have to like avoid bad matchups or hit good matchups or get lucky to make top cut. So I think that was just kind of variance. I was kind of sad though that it was like only like 7 rounds because even though I wasn't at that point where I was one of the 5-1-1s, like 5-1-1 is like a solid record.
It should have
and
been
the fact
8.
that like half of them or more than half of them bubbled seems like kind of bad.
It really should have been 8. Those 3, Mahone included. Like Mahone getting 9th. I don't even like know Mahone that well. And then like the one time I played against them, it was kind of awkward. But like when you get 9th, I feel like you're at X11. What was his resistance? He was only like 3 or 4 points behind the next guy in front of him, right?
And he went 4-0-3 in day 1. So he literally lost 1 game all worlds and didn't make cut.
Yeah.
That's like stupid.
No, I mean like the tying for day 1 makes sense. Like when you're doing that kind of thing. And apparently according to Pokemon, they were equal in skill, and so that's why you tied instead of having like a Savage 2-0. But for him to go X11 and miss, if he was the only person to miss, I would have been like, that's fine. Like that's what you get, you know? Like maybe you should have better tiebreaker. You shouldn't have lost in this situation. But when it was him, I think it was 3 people, 4.
It was
at least 4.
It was 4.
Lost too.
That's way too many. You do another round and you have them beat each other out of it.
Yeah, I was saying
like you fight for that spot and then one of them's gonna earn it, you know.
And what's wrong with top 16 either? It's like
they just said that they wanted to keep it top 8 all year. So if they want to be consistent,
change that. That sucks. Top 16 so much better. Like you're gonna give us day 2 for regionals. What was it, like top 32? Do we have? Yes, you're gonna give us top 32, but on like literally the biggest like format that you can have, and then have like the highest quality of play and highest quality of players there. You're gonna have it top 8 when variance is gonna make or break this dude winning winning 20 grand or not.
Yeah, I mean top 16 7 rounds, top 8 8 rounds is the same thing to me. Like essentially, like it like makes like the bubble like less.
Yeah, but 7 rounds top 8 was insulting.
Yeah,
at least to like a couple of players like Mahone and like Jason, one of the guys from Cali, and I didn't know the other 2. That's heartbreaking.
Me, but I would have felt really bad if I was 5-1-1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would have been super raging. Super sucked. All right, so going into day 2, Kyle, did you switch decks?
Nope. Play the exact same 60.
Okay, I went Flygon because we're not gonna discuss that. But
I told Russ not to go Flygon. Like
it wasn't even Flygon, honestly.
But I knew that it was an.
It was no. Like here's the thing. I had 3 different decks built. I had Manectric Bats, and how badly I did day 1. I was looking at the deck and I was like, oh my god, I'm actually gonna play against people that know what they're doing, and they're gonna kick my ass. And it was that serious. I was like, someone's gonna actually know how to beat this because it's good to play test, and you're in day 2, and so I'm gonna lose. And I didn't like how I was drawing day 1. And I know I only squeezed out, like, I should have lost 3 times day 1 instead of what I actually did. And so I switched decks over to like either Flygon or Gengar Trev. Gengar Trev I didn't have a single Wally for. And this is at like 4 a.m. when it finally popped in my head, hey, go play Gengar Trev, because we saw Alex Hill do it. And I was like, cool, Alex Hill, lead the way. And then I didn't have a single Wally. And so I was like, all right, we're going to default to Flygon because it's 5 a.m. and I really want to sleep. So I go to sleep for like an hour because by the time I pass out, it's like 5:30. I wake up. I was like, all right, let's get this going and let's play this deck. And I don't regret my decision at all because all the matchups I hit with Flygon were really good. I just drew like garbage.
Because Flygon doesn't have Tropical Speech.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Well, just because that might be a reason not to play Flygon.
Nah, not enough.
Russ promised that he wouldn't play it at Worlds because he got it out of his system in Nationals.
I did get out of my system. I didn't trust Manectric Bats at the end there. Maybe I should have, because
there were other decks in the format. There were like
there was a lot of other choices.
I'm not gonna play Groudon. If I play Groudon, I played against 3 Leafeon decks.
It's like, oh man, everybody, Manectric Bats isn't working. I guess I'm stuck with Flygon. There's nothing else.
That's how it works.
Well, I guess.
All right, Dylan, what'd you play?
I played a shitty Raichu deck. I played it with
Raichu. Oh, it's shitty now. It's shitty now.
Yeah, I mean, I worked on it. It was like kind of like janky because it was like a toolboxy Raichu deck, but it didn't do well for me at Worlds, but it did well for me for the Invitational. So I think it was just variance. I mean, I worked on it a lot with Jitmin. I mean, it was mostly like him throwing out Raichu ideas and me testing them and shooting the bad ones down and cycling through a lot of things. And it wasn't really until Friday morning that he like made some changes overnight or realized how to play a matchup better that I actually like started taking it like semi-seriously as like a decision for Worlds. Like before that, it was kind of like in the large category of decks where like, man, if this deck could fix this one matchup, it would be really good. But there were like a lot of decks like that in my mind. Like, oh man, if Kling could just beat Seismitoad Garbodor, this deck would be really good. And then it finally got to that point where I felt like, okay, no matter what I play against, I have a shot against everything. I'll confuse some people because it was like Raichu, Mega Rayquaza, Bronzong, Banana Tree, Terrakion. So it could like appear, like they might not think that you run a certain deck, or it could also like appear as a different deck. Like it looks like, oh, I see a Rayquaza and a Bronzor. Oh, it's a Metal Rayquaza deck. And then there's a Tech Raichu. And then it's like, oh wait, no, now it's a Raichu Focus. Oh, now there's a Banana Tree. So I did win a couple games, or at least like the first like game ones, because or had opponents make mistakes, either because they were unfamiliar with the matchup or they didn't even know what cards I played, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. My deck had like 50-50 and 60-40 matchups, and even if you're 60-40 against everything, you have to get lucky to go like 6-1. So
Yeah.
I wasn't upset with my choice, and I had fun playing it. So
Yeah. Ryan, where'd you go?
I always overthink it at Worlds, and I'm terrible at Worlds. So I decided just to not think, and I was like, Night March, boom. So I played Night March, and that hitting bad matchups things really applied to me, because I hit 3 Archie Stoys and a Donphan with 3 Focus Sash. Those were my 4 losses at Worlds. So out of the 3 Archie Stoys I hit, one of them was Jacob Van Wagner, the guy that won. And then I hit Brandon Cantu, who loves the deck and he's a really good player. And then I hit some Japanese player that played maintenance. And he hit turn 1 Archie every game.
I think I tested with him. I think I played a couple games in testing with him.
Yeah,
You helped him.
Well, thanks for that, Dylan, because he hit turn 1 Archie every game.
I beat him 1 out of 2.
Yeah, Jacob Van Wagner hit it game 1 and game 3 and just beat me up. And then Cantu hit it game 2 and game 3 and just beat me up.
I literally, like, he played Archie Blastoise. I was like, why are you playing this? Nobody's actually going to win Worlds in this.
You know how many people were playing Archie Blastoise day 2? 4 people.
Were there? I think there were more than 4.
I know 4 personally.
Who were the 4?
To my knowledge, I think Sam Chen was playing Archie's, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
So it was Sam Chen,
Brandon
it was
Cantu,
Brandon Cantu, it was
Van
Jacob Van Wagner, and then...
wait, no, there were 5 because it was Tarbell. Tarbell too.
Okay, so that was my 5th one. That was my 4th one, Tarbell.
Random
That's
Japanese
5.
guy. I feel like
Tarbell.
there were more. There's got to be at least 1 or 2 more that we didn't know about, too.
Those are the only that I saw, and I ran into 3 of them. So
I wanted to play against it. I was ready. I had Raichu and the Tropius tech for Wailord. They were not going to breaching and get away with it.
I was ready for that, man. I was a Garbodor. I don't care.
Yeah.
Have
And
fun.
this all goes back to this matchup-based format.
Exactly.
Like, I had so many like bad decks against me, evolution decks around me, or like Hippowdon, Groudon, all this stuff that I'm like, Flygon's so free. I was like, it's so free against these guys. And then I get VG, like pure Manectric deck with 4 Rough Seas, and then he played Reshiram.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I heard
it was
about
funny.
that guy.
Yeah, it was adorable. But then it was a bad run.
Somebody text for Clink.
Yeah, he did it for metal, and he ended up playing against Brent Sevenkettle's VG also, and he was just like, what do I do?
I played against, I think, maybe the one Clink in the entire tournament. I did win, but I like legitimately nobody played it. Everybody thought it was inconsistent. I was sad. I almost wanted to play it just to give it some representation.
Was there anything entertaining that went on day 2? I mean, I'm pretty sure we all just did badly, and so little by little we just...
A lot of the post-world activities were entertaining. Boston Burger Co. was awesome, but yeah. I don't know,
Boston Burger Company was delicious.
Yeah. Worlds just kind of went by, and it was kind of like, yeah, all right, didn't do that well.
Yeah.
Whatever. I had some opponents make some game-losing errors against me. And they still won. I guess I should have picked a better deck or played better or whatever.
Yeah. Something to be able to punish those situations.
Yeah.
Oh, the top 32 bags.
Those
Gorgeous.
were fantastic, yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I was like, this was the year not to scrub out. We messed up.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite parts was the guy that won VG finals, who we appropriately named Swag Pants.
Swag Pants.
Swag Pants. When
Why?
he won, and then he like fell over and like he was playing with no shoes. First of
Yeah,
all,
he took
like,
his shoes off
so
before he
much
went into the
swag.
game.
And he mastered
Every
it.
time anything went right for him, he's just
He's
going
freaking
nuts.
out. You see his hand in the other guy's camera because he's just like, yeah. And like after he won,
What
he
country?
just stands up and just falls
Falls.
over
Yeah.
and just sits there. And then the camera lady's just like sitting there taking pictures of him while he's like dead. We don't even know.
Yeah. We didn't know if he had,
I saw that at the very end.
narcolepsy or something. We were like trying to figure out like, dude, he's really
He
committed.
really
to
wasn't
this
moving.
ball. Yeah.
So much swag.
Some countries have a lot of pride.
What country was
He
he?
was into it.
Do you know what country?
Probably
Uh,
not the U.S.
Yeah, because there were 7 Japanese people in the top 8.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, that
so
too.
yeah,
I just feel like a lot of the international countries have more pride than the U.S. when they're there. Right?
Well, because they're
I
not on
guess
the
so.
soil, man. They got to represent
I think Jacob had more pride in hovercats
hovercats.
than
yeah,
he did in
Yeah,
the
than the
USA.
U.S. Like you never see an American player like with the U.S. flag because there's just so many.
Yeah. The crowd will do it for you. They'll do the chant for you. You don't have to rep.
Okay, so at the end of that, I don't know. Worlds went by super fast for me.
It really did.
Yeah.
Yeah. What improvements can they make for next year? I was like, from like what you guys had. It was my first Worlds, so for me, or like first one that I actually played in.
Mhm.
I felt like they really need to change their round structure.
Absolutely.
Like having a top eight's insulting.
yeah.
Well, they
that
used
was
to.
so
They're-
stupid.
They used to have more than top 8. They just kind of went to this new thing.
Yeah.
It's so bad though.
The 3 times that I made cut at Worlds were all top 32s, and like that just it felt like I was even when I was a senior, I went like 5-3 and made cut, and I felt so good, like it was so rewarding. And then like who cares what happens after that point, you know? Like
Yeah.
I didn't care. I was a little kid, and I'm just playing some stupid deck I made up in my house. Like no one was playing that thing, and I won 5 games. I was so happy. Like I want that. I want to feel like that again. You know, like that's why we all play. And instead, it's just like this nerve-wracking. I hope I hit my matchups. If I'm not sleeping with the computer, how am I gonna make cut? You know?
I just
Yeah.
want it to not be expanded. I want it to be not as many set. If it's in Worlds, prepare for like
Internet's going
Okay.
crazy.
Fan list. There's no way they'll keep Shift-3. They're gonna have to work on like a lot. There's a lot of things they're gonna figure out is like unfair when you have that many sets to choose from.
it's just not a. It's not a. You're not seeing who is like has the most skill and who's the best deck builder. You're seeing who just got luck, whose day it was, who got
Hmm.
lucky enough.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's so many decks and what
Because there's
matchups
so many
you hit.
decks, you literally can't prepare for everything.
I
I
think that was more of a format problem than it was like the way their tournament structures and everything.
But I feel like
Like
expanded is
like
kind of
a-
the same way right now. I agree with.
Oh no,
what
100% right
Ryan is
now.
saying.
In terms of
everybody, like, is
expanded,
afraid to talk
it
about
won't be
because
expanded. They
nobody
better
knows
do
where to
X and
start,
Y on.
except for Shift-3.
There's 22 legal sets right now.
That's too much.
That's too many.
That's
Yeah.
savage.
That's nuts.
And like they do it because they're like, oh, you can hold on to your cards and like keep playing them, like,
No.
and it's like that doesn't help us. I'd rather throw all those cards out. I don't care if I lose $500 worth of cards if I can play in a fun format, you know?
It's like something around 20 at least.
X and Y on's really bad right now though. I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys tested it, but the supporter lineup is just horrible. Like the
Play
only decks
Bestie
that do good are
and
like
Hoopa
if you play-
Shaman. There's
I like
engines.
Stop.
I like when people have to improvise. When you
You
can
know?
throw some birches in your deck.
There are birches.
No, there's four
Birch
birches.
is
There's 4
birch.
birches in every single one of my
Star.
decks.
3 birch
Three
in my
birch.
nationals deck.
I approve.
So bad.
That's how we do, man.
Yeah, that was the next talk. Like,
Yeah.
if we have nothing left for Worlds, I
Yeah,
met some.
like,
I
like
like
over
in terms of meeting
expanded.
people, I met so many nice players.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
seriously,
like
everybody
wow,
was-
these people are super nice, especially when it's on when it's on the bubble. And I think that was the worst feeling I got out of day 2. Like, once you lost twice, you knew your top 8 run was over,
Yeah.
and now you're just playing it to play so you can get your points.
Yeah.
You know, so
exactly.
at a certain point, you're just like, all right, maybe I'll shoot for top 32. Okay, this is
Okay, I
yeah.
lost. I'll shoot for
Like,
top
oh
6.
yeah,
Alright,
okay,
now
top 64.
top
Oh, I lost. All right,
There's
whatever.
no difference. No, there isn't. Okay.
Let's just walk around. Yeah. Do you still think it's worth having day 1 in terms of like how the point structure and everything is? Like, if TCPI announces, okay, we're doing 400 points forward and none of this day 1 garbage anymore, it's just you're automatically in, and then if you're in top 16, you get the free flight and free hotel instead. Like, did the day 2 feel worth it to you too?
I think I'd like that more. I mean, I wasn't in day 1. I can't personally say, but I don't know.
See, I'm glad that Ryan says it because I feel like everyone who automatically got an invite to day 2 is
Mhm.
obviously like obliged to go. Oh man, that's awesome! I get a free shot, but like, it really was not fair. Like, I understand that you worked hard during the season, everything, and got to where you were, but like, we got put in like a horrible situation.
Literally
Day
got put
one.
in a gauntlet.
Day one
It was
was the
ridiculous.
worst.
A fight to the death. And me and Dylan are just sitting there with popcorn, like, go ahead.
I enjoyed sleeping in. I'm gonna be honest.
You know? Yeah.
No, I saw you and Christy watching from the sidelines, and I was like, look at the look in Dylan's eyes. He's like, I want to see dreams crushed. I want to see
if you
tears
make-
of
if
despair
you-
on the floor.
I think I just
If
woke
you-
up.
if you
I was
top
kind of like,
16
oh,
invite.
stop.
Just like send them a day early so they can enjoy a vacation or something. Because that's basically all that day 1 was. Just send
I
them
don't
in.
know.
on
I think there's
Tuesday.
no perfect system though. To be fair, from like TCBI's end, like I agree with what all you guys are saying, but it's kind of like when you just do it like, oh, 400 championship points, everybody plays. Then it's like after I hit 400, I stop playing. If you just do it where only the top 16 only gets a trip, then there gets a point where it's like, well, the opportunity cost of like traveling to all these regionals is worth less than the trip. I might as well just save the money for the trip and stop playing when I get 400.
Why can't they implement a system of nationals into worlds?
What do you mean?
Like in nationals, they give you like the round 1 buy, the round 2 buy. Why can't we just do the same thing?
Oh, so it gives buys from nationals into worlds?
No, not from nationals. You're like your ranking, cause like you know how they did like I think day 1 was ridiculous, like a whole day buy. That was absurd. I'd
Is it
tell people from
ranking
other
from
card games that, and
CP
then
gives you
their
buy?
jaw would drop. They'd be like, "What?"
Honestly, what
you get a
about
day 1
yeah?
buy,
I like
buy?
buys in worlds. I don't mind if
Exactly.
you worked hard enough and you can have it. You can have it.
You can start with your 2-0. If you
round.
fall apart from there, then you suck. Yeah,
Buys would
you know.
be interesting for based on championship points. Like top X get like 1 buy, and then top X get like 2 buys,
Yeah.
and then everybody else just gets an invite. That
I
would be
feel like it's
Other
rough
countries?
for foreigners because some places are like really easy
Some
to just
countries
rack
don't
up
have-
points.
They don't
too.
have they don't have as many invites as us too, so they can't do that.
But they're complaining anyway. They're complaining anyway right now with how they're set up. Like
I-
Europe is like we need more people in the top
I think
cut.
you need 2 tiers. I mean, like multiple tiers of like levels of incentive. Because right now it's like 300 or top 16, and there's kind of like this giant area where people stop caring, and then it gets to the point where if you don't give somebody something incredible, like skipping the first day, then there's no incentive to actually play that much.
Yeah,
If it
I
was
agree.
just a trip.
As soon as I hit 300, I stopped caring, and then I was just like, well, I might as well go to regionals, you know?
But if you have like levels like invite, like Russ said, then like day 1, then like single buy, and then like double buy, then it kind of like gives people like, okay, well I could just take my invite, or I could play even if I can't get all the way up to 2 buys, I could still get up to a buy, so there's reason to keep playing. Something like that, even if it's not with buys, just that like instead of like 300 points or top 16, something in the middle.
No, I'm with that absolutely.
Yeah. I didn't mind $1,000 check though. That was pretty nice. Top 32 money. I think some people in top 16 that already like had a room or had other friends in top 16 were kind of mad that they just got like their like stipend.
Oh, I got really lucky with that because I got 750 for nationals, and Ryan got a room in 300, so I got to share Ryan's room and get more money than him.
You guys didn't split the money?
We didn't split the money, no.
Ryan, he
Keep that on
lost
the
out.
down low.
Don't tell me.
Don't tell Ryan.
Next year though, we got to try hard.
Did you at
That's
least
on that's on the other
leave
side.
the
That's the other coast.
In the window room.
I know, right? I
Yeah,
should-
we actually have to try hard next time.
It's been 10 years since I won a regional. I should probably do that.
Why? You get more stipend money.
I know,
So
right?
Ryan's gonna win the regionals.
Okay, so final thoughts on Worlds? Anything
Can't
special?
wait.
Can't
next
wait
year?
till next year.
Yeah.
Super duper.
I'm gonna win this time.
You know what? My last thought about it is I appreciate them trying different things because that's the only way we're gonna figure out if it's like, you know, what works and what doesn't work. And to them, it sucks that every time that they try something new, they get backlash. But they're learning from it, I think, and eventually we'll get the right one and we'll figure out something that works. But until then, some people's worlds are gonna be
It's
subpar.
never gonna be perfect for anybody.
Yeah. Besides the winner.
Trying to give constructive like advice rather than just like a bunch of criticism.
Yeah.
Some people just tear them apart. But it does help
Everybody's just
them.
like, why would you change it? Blah blah blah. It's like they're changing it to make it better. But they
you
just-
complained about what they did last year, and then they changed it, and then you complained that they changed it. Like you
exactly.
just, yeah, that doesn't help them at all. So if you're gonna like criticize them, then at least like give advice on what they could do to improve. I think that's
Yeah.
takeaway.
Okay, so moving on to expanded.
Yeah,
Since
we're
that's
just
the
gonna
next
talk
big
about
thing we're gonna start
Expanded real
doing.
quick. Just like I guess general thoughts, because right now so far all the community really has talked about is like Shiftery.
It's getting banned. It's getting banned, dude.
Most likely.
I after they banned Trump Card and like how much faith got restored once they did that. Like at least for me personally, I love the fact that they banned Trump Card. It was amazing. Way too good.
So either like Shiftery's in the format and everybody plays a lot of Wobbuffets and Ball Toys, or they ban it. But like outside of Shiftery, like what else like should people be prepared for and expand it?
Fortress
like,
Dunk.
Huh?
Fortress Dunk.
If they don't ban Fortress Dunk, yeah.
Yeah, if they don't
I
ban
guess
Fortress
outside
Dunk,
of all
they don't
like
ban
the turn
Shiftery.
one strategies, outside of all the solitaire decks, like I feel like one of the biggest cards that are in expanded that people might not be used to if they like recently started playing is Excelgor. I feel like
There's
that's
a lot of grass stuff. Where
Yeah.
It's just like Executor Vileplume was the thing I heard a lot about. Where it's just like you can get a really fast lock off that way.
No trainers, no supporters.
Yeah, you can just like
No
there's a
hope.
lot of
No hope.
ways to just shut people out real fast.
yeah, the Excelgor Paralyzed lock, the Vileplume, Executor lock. There's like a lot of annoying decks. There's obviously Seismitoad gets to keep its lasers. Yveltal
But
gets
deal
Dark
with,
Patch back.
all this new grass stuff. Good luck.
Vespi Queen is also Flareon, so you get your pick. For time.
You just play both. Like you have to play a ton of Pokemon. You obviously just play Vespiquen and Flareon together.
Good God.
Yeah, like why?
Expanded, please. I'm not trying to deal with all
Run out
this
of
madness.
DCs.
Do you think the decks like
What's up?
or Quaza and like
I think your internet's going crazy.
Yeah, you went in and out.
Dylan, please come back to us.
He's gone.
He's gone.
College internet.
Awesome.
Look
Time
at
of
look
death.
at look at Goomy. Look at him. Look at this.
Gummy's like, bro.
Somebody help me.
Hold on,
Somebody
while we
call
try
the
to
time
get
of
the
death.
call back. Look at him.
9:03 p.m.
Oh yeah, if you guys didn't know, Goomy's is also Dylan's profile picture.
I
So now
love
you
it.
know.
I can see it now. Yeah,
When this man tells you he loves Goomy, he really loves Goomy.
he's committed.
And then my favorite Pokemon isn't even Flygon. People come up to me and they're like, one of my fans handed me a Flygon pin. It was adorable.
Don't you like Gengar?
I didn't even know I had fans. No, that's Johnny.
Who the hell do you like?
Someone came up and they're like, "Are you from someone's PC?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "You're the Flygon guy, right?"
Oh, that's
I was like,
awesome.
"Oh, thank you. What the fuck?" I was about to cry. And he's like, "Is it your favorite Pokemon?" So I told the kid yes. But
yeah, you have to tell him. Yeah.
but it really is Heracross. Heracross or
cool.
die. Yeah.
Heracross.
My friend
I'm back,
made me
guys.
claim that he made like the artwork of like my 6 favorite Pokemon and like drew me in there with my 6 Pokemon. It was so dope.
Oh, that's sick. That's actually
Welcome back.
that's what we're trying to do now for our profile picture.
Ryan
For
gave me
someone's
a
PC, we want to have like all of us with our favorite Pokemon.
That's cool. Yeah,
Was it Goomy, Dylan? Did Goomy?
we missed you.
Did Goomy
Yeah.
turn off Skype? I see him looking at you. He changed
Oh, he's
He
Yeah.
forms.
Oh God.
Oh god.
Yeah.
stop.
There he is. He's back.
Messed it up.
Okay, so we were last
Probably
talking
got
about Vespi Queen
interrupted
Flareon.
Sentence, but it's all right.
Yeah. You were going on about Rayquaza something?
I was just like, oh, do you think that anything can kind of stand up to like all the wild? Oh, I was like, can anything stand up to like Vespiquen and like one-shotting everything and all the annoying lock decks like Excelgor, Seismitoad, Vileplume, Executor? Like, is there anything
so many
like
deck
can like the decks like Metal Ray and Mega
There's
Manectric and
so
everything
much
still?
troll stuff. There's
So many
so many
choices.
decks where it's just like, oh, I shut you out. Have fun not participating in the game.
Yeah, have fun playing Flareon when I have Durant. Durant with trick shovels. And then as soon as you kill Durant, I'm a bundle B you until I get the Durant back. And then you're stuck in this cycle.
There's too many decks.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's gonna degenerate into like a cycle of decks that beat each other, or just kind of like a bunch of annoying decks that shut each other out, and it's just whoever can do it to the other person first.
I think the top players will all be playing the annoying decks. And then
Yeah.
you're going to have people that show up to regionals just like, oh, I get to play this card? Cool.
I get to
And then
play
it-
Dark Patch.
Yeah, I get to play Dark Patch. I'm like, oh, good for you, dude.
Everybody just like looking for their like nostalgia play. Just
Oh,
trying
we
to
are-
bring
we already
back
know.
everything.
We get to bring back Flareon.
Yeah.
It's
The limited card pool, like some people might not. I mean, limited card pools, like they might not have access to Tropical Beach, or some of these older cards could like also dictate what people play as well.
That's
like
true.
something like Vespiquen might be easier to build than some like extensive setup Tropical Beach deck with a bunch of like old Excelgors and support and stuff.
Okay, so since like people blow me up with questions like this, I'm just gonna start asking it to you guys, just so we can get a general opinion. What do you play alongside Manetric going into Expanded?
No
like,
clue.
Like if you're playing Manetric, because Dylan did his Agislash thing, which was adorable.
The Agislash was mostly just a tech for fairies, and I've just played Pokemon Center Lady because I didn't want to lose to Excelgor. But I mean, Manectric is one of those cards where you could really put it with anything. I would probably put it with something to not lose to special conditions, because they seem like Excelgor seems like it always seems to come back somehow.
So,
I don't know.
Like maybe Manetric Genesect with Virizians or something.
Yeah, like with one Virizion.
Yeah.
And if they play something to shut off with Virizion, then I guess you need Pokemon Center.
And then if you play against a deck that can get to 210, like Vespiquen or Flareon, you just get
I mean,
bopped
hopefully
anyway.
you just
You're
race
ready
them,
to.
because Vespiquen can't do 210 right away. Just like the Flareon decks couldn't do 210 right away. Like, you just simply don't play enough Pokemon. It's very hard to one-shot that first Mega Manectric, so maybe play Mega Manectric with some kind of non-EX that could like keep up with the other non-EXs. Like, lead with Mega Manectric, go into non-EXs. I don't know. But I mean, it depends. Then if Mega Manectric becomes this dominant force, people are just going to play fighting and just beat you.
Yeah, there's an answer to everything. There's
There's enough
Yeah,
cards
there's
to
too many
counter.
cards. There's nothing that gets by at all.
It's so hard. I gotta write an article, so I'm basically just gonna like kind of take a stab at what decks I think like people should be looking out for. But it's like if like these like 2 or 3 decks became really good, like there's obviously something that's gonna cut through all of them.
Yeah,
so.
I will say if Shiftry doesn't get banned, definitely play Shiftry. Like
I don't think
from
that's
the
case.
testing with it,
mean,
I
think
loved it.
If
It was
everybody,
amazing.
all right, let's say you go with Russ's strategy. Let's say you're at a 100-person tournament. You know the other 99 people are gonna play Shiftry, like some extreme example. I'm just gonna play a deck with 4 Baltoy. I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah,
I'll play
you can
Baltoy
also
Mill,
just
and I'll
I
win.
guess so.
Manetric thing, and you can just play the Manetrics with Wobbuffet and Tool Drop and just do that. You can just start Wobbuffet and
Hopefully start Wobbuffet. Pray we get
just
there.
just start Wobbuffet. How hard is it?
I was
don't
just
know.
giving an
I
extreme
just
example.
yeah. I just
Like
hate
how
the
every-
deck.
like-
I hate the deck. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Because I see people posting on Burbank all the time, and they still want to complain about it.
I agree. Wobbuffet's
Like, what's
gonna be
Shiftry?
the
It's
better
Shiftry. I was like,
counter.
can't you
Wobbuffet counts
accept
other
it by
stuff, too,
now?
like,
This is
yeah,
here.
Slows down the Shaman decks.
Yeah, Wobbuffet's strong. Is Archie's
Yeah,
the
I
better
hope
Blastoise
Because it's
or
bad for the
Beach?
game. Like, just the fact that it like.
Your picture's frozen and you
Oh
look.
my god, it was such a good freeze.
My picture or their
It was
picture?
No,
such,
you're-
it was such
you're
a good
done.
freeze.
face.
Like, one eye was ready to wink and the other eye was just whirling around.
I hope we get a screenshot of that.
To answer, I don't know what's better. I think maybe even like a combination of the two, where you play Tropical Beach, but like
I think Blastoise has a rougher time than before because there is going to be more grass. But I agree. I like the no beach. I think that the potential to.
It's going to be back and it's going to be fantastic. I think a lot of winning decks are going to have that card in them.
What's going to be back?
Tropical Beach.
Tropical Beach.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I think it's going to be huge. I think everyone that's going to be like doing consistently good is going to have a Tropical Beach in their deck. The card is.
I think a lot of the setup decks will, but I feel like there could be some kind of like aggressive deck or some deck like Seismitoad that relies on laser that won't play it. But any of like the setup-y like stage 2
Yeah,
decks,
that's
like,
what I
right?
Yeah.
But I was like saying before that like some of the new players might not have access to these tropical beaches, especially at regionals where it's like the good players want to use their tropical beaches, or like not even like good,
yeah,
it's like
we
players that
really don't open the like we don't give them any room to grow.
They don't deserve it. This is our time to
It's like,
shine.
hey, have you not been playing for 4 years? Hey, do you not have $200? All right, well then you're not.
yeah, the players that have been playing for like years, like they might not even be good. They might just be players that had $300 a couple of years ago back when Tropical Beach was legal.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I won my Tropical Beaches. I like to think that
Yeah, that's right. I
I
kept
did
mine.
something.
You guys are fools.
Archeops is just inside Yveltal. Is that the only thing?
It doesn't have to be with Yveltal. It can pair in anything.
Yeah.
My favorite version that I saw at the Georgia Regional was the Verizian Genesect Ho-Oh, the spooky sect that we coined, and he just threw it in. It's so
How do you
so
get the
fun.
consistent Archie off?
What? How do you do that?
'Cause
The Maxies? The Maxies?
It's a Ho-Oh deck. It's a Ho-Oh deck, and you
Okay.
just have Verizian and Genesect in there as like some of your Pokemon.
I
You
can
just
see it coming out at least half the time. I think
yeah, it happened a lot for him.
I saw it with Night March. I saw Night March
I've
with.
seen that a few times too. I think people will just be playing Wobbuffet for like Shiftry anyway, and Archeops is just one of those cards where people don't respect it, it's good, but if people are playing Wally and Eevee Soto and Wobbuffet and now Hex Maniac, then they have counters.
There's a lot of ways to stop it.
It's like, it just goes back to, you have the answers to everything, but what cards are you going to choose to prepare for?
It's kind of hard to pick 60
Yeah.
into like.
It's like when nobody's
Out of-
playing
out of
Archeops,
6,000.
yeah.
Good God. There's Fairy plus Wonder Energy because Wonder Energy is so good against the Selgor.
I mean,
Yeah,
it just
like when I was
depends how much
running
Excelgor
into
there is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
people
is
tried
it
to play
Trev?
it
Is it?
at Florida, and there was no Acelgor. There was one Acelgor, and like all the fairies did bad. I think one made top 4.
I think we had the same thing in like the regionals. I ended up winning. There were like actually a couple Excelgor, and then like there were a bunch of people that are just like, oh, I'll just play fairies, and I'll just be like, okay, I'll just play a deck that beats fairies and Excelgor and Fiji.
Yeah.
Because that's like the other deck that can counter Trevenant and Excelgor. I'll just beat Trevenant and Excelgor and the Trevenant and Excelgor counters.
Yeah,
When
just
it was
counter
only
the counter and you win.
Yeah. Metagames.
Did the
But it's gonna be
Rayquaza
much
die?
harder this time.
Did the Rayquaza die? Eels, whatever one it was. I didn't play during that era.
It's dead.
Yeah.
It's the
People try like there was always one or two people trying to just like have their last go with it, but
It's nostalgia. It's just nostalgia.
yeah. I played Night March and slaughtered Rudy. It was unfair.
There's better decks that one-shot people, essentially.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, like, these are all, like, our opinions, like, but we have only tested so many games at Expanded. You can't expect all of us to have,
Absolutes.
like, just gotten back from Boston and be like, all right, guys, let's play 100 more games of Pokemon.
That's right. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't have school or work or anything.
When
Let's-
regionals isn't for, like, another month. Like, if regionals
Yeah.
was the next week, we might, like, suck it up and play test. But, like, I'm sure we've all only had, like, a limited... Nobody, like, is taking even a stab at Expanded. And, I mean... At least it gives the people who, like, really have no clue what's going on, like, at least, like, some kind of, like, a starting point, like, things to test and what decks to expect, which is the point of it. Not to give anybody regionals winning ideas at this point, because it's so hard to predict a month in advance a format that's so wide open. 22 sets or something crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
There's a new Gumi that's coming out, though, so that might
That's
change
all that matters,
things
right?
That's big.
up. Big.
All right. Well, that should
I
be
got my
it.
play set.
Like that's
Those
a,
are the
like,
only 4
full
cards I
recap
own from Ancient
and
Origins.
everything
too.
else.
4 Gumis and a Lugia EX. I'm ready. I think that's it.
All right. Did you guys have anything else? Any other expanded ideas to go into?
Not yet.
I'll keep it to myself and act like I have a secret, but I don't.
Okay.
Oh,
To insert for them, please follow them on Twitch at the Sabelhaus or Sable Stream. I have no idea what you guys are.
Twitch.tv/Sabelhaus.
Okay. Yeah.
And, we're actually about to go do that soon.
They'll have Hearthstone and Pokemon, and I don't know. I don't know if you guys still play Expanded. And Dylan hung up on us. Look at that. It didn't
Whatever,
even end.
Dylan.
He called
Don't
back.
support the Sable stream.
It's cool, man. We get it.
Okay. I guess I'll wait for Dylan to come back to say bye to everybody.
Twitch.tv/Sable stream. 9 p.m. Eastern.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay. I was about to say what day.
We need to have t-shirts.
For real.
Yeah.
We play Space Jam. That's the most important thing.
We play Space Jam music, and we do other cool stuff. Pokemon. We play a lot of Pokemon, and
You
when
twerked once.
I did that. He paid $1 though.
Hey,
Horrible.
man.
Horrible.
Gotta do what
If
you
you
gotta
donate
do.
$1, I'll do stuff.
All right,
Wow.
I'm back to say goodbye.
Weird, yeah.
All right, I gotta get like an Ethernet cable because this wireless internet I just moved into college is like very
College internet's
unstable.
really bad on
A
Wi-Fi.
little right every time.
There we go. Now we can
There we
see.
go. Now we can see Gumi.
It's a proper goodbye now.
Okay. Goodbye, Dylan. Goodbye, Kyle.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Running Kyle, for joining us. Check them out on Sable Stream, like Russ probably said. Check out all our articles on Six Prizes.
Look how he got serious out of nowhere. Isn't that
Yeah.
awesome? He just went to rant.
Got it all in because Russ probably said half the stuff I already said.
You nailed it, man.
All right.
All right, you guys.
See you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.